Okay. Hello, hello. You guys, I just want to say I've given into the fact that I'm a happier person when I have a lot of caffeine. So I've just given in and I'm just drinking a lot of caffeine. So here we are. And it's 8:23 at night and I'm like ready to like start a day. Okay. Today is, oh my God, June 6th, 5th. Okay. It's only June 5th. You guys, we're almost halfway through the year. I can't even believe it. I feel like I say this every week. I'm like, oh my God, it's already. But seriously, it is June. Summit is the end of this month. Um, I'm so excited. I cannot even tell you how excited I am about Summit. So I had this crazy experience a couple of days ago, earlier last week, and there was a Josh Coates training call last Thursday, and I meant to hop on and I missed it. And that night, like I had this weird, vivid dream about him. And so I woke up the next morning and I was like, okay, I just have to watch this because obviously I don't dream hardly at all. So I woke up and I ended up just like, I didn't work out. I just like, I did my meditation and I like just kind of like listened to the call as I was doing my stuff because I kind of felt like it was important if I'm going to have a serious dream about it. So I listened to the call and something about it was just like, oh, no, that's right. I screenshotted it on my phone and I posted it in my Instagram stories. And he responded because I tagged him and he responded. And he's like, are you going to join us in the Art of Recruiting this month? And I'm like, oh my God, like, because I earned a position in a spot in the Art of Recruiting last year for free through a Dash to Diamond group that I was in. And at the time, it didn't connect with me at all. I did not enjoy it at all. He was too intense for me. Grant Cardone was too intense for me. And he was like, read Grant Cardone and like be a rock star. And I'm like, who is this guy? So anyway, I decided I was going to do it. And I remembered that my mother-in-law had given me some money for Mother's Day, and it was the exact amount of this course. So I signed up and I'm in it. Oh my God, it is so awesome. It is so good. And he gives so much amazing information. So what I want to do tonight is talk about just some kind of mindset and life stuff that he's been talking about in the group in a couple of the videos that he's done, and how I've been using it for the last couple of days and how much better I feel about my organization and about my time management and about how I'm prioritizing things and making sure that I'm getting done what needs to be done, not doing what doesn't need to be done. I have more time during the day and I'm getting more done. So I wanted to share that with you guys because I know that time management can be a little tricky because we feel like we have to be available 24/7. We have to be doing this 24/7, and that's not what it's about. It's about prioritizing and making sure that we tell our business what we are doing with our business, because otherwise this business it has the potential to just run us. If we feel like we have to be there 100% and be on and, hearing our phone buzz during dinner and all these kinds of things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through 3 things that I've been doing the last couple of days that have really changed my mindset and helped me stay on track and help me stay kind of motivated and clear on what's going on and where I want to go. So the first thing is to plan your day out. So this is like 5 minutes or, 5 minutes in the morning. Should be one of the first things that you do first thing in the morning. And this is where you tell your day what's happening. You identify where your appointments are. If you work, 9 to 5, that's in there. You have your lunch break. If you have a doctor's appointment, what time you're driving your kids to school. So then you see where around that you're going to fit your business in. So for me, I know that from 4 a.m. to 5 a.m., I work out, do my meditation, and do a couple of other things business related. And then I have kind of like 5 to 5:15 or 5:30 to kind of like, that's kind of like flex time for me if I have something to do that I have to finish up before, everybody else gets up, or I can work on my business. So I know I have that time. Then I also know that I listen to my personal development when I'm driving back from dropping off Garrett in the car. and or driving back in the car from dropping off Garrett at daycare. So I have like 30 minutes of personal development time that I always listen to an audiobook. And that's in my calendar. Then I know when I work, I also know, I spend a couple of my bathroom breaks putting up posts, things like that. And then lunchtime, like, what am I going to do on my lunch hour to be productive, to make sure that I'm using my time effectively? And then, whatever my afternoon schedule is, I know that from the time I pick up Garrett to the time he goes to bed, my phone is down. I do not do anything phone related because that's family time. And then after that, I have, lunches, whatever. And then by hopefully 8 o'clock, I can sit down and do some business stuff again. So I know what times I have to do the things, and I put you write those down every day. You get a planner. So I pulled my planner out again because I had been really bad about using it, and write down where those pockets are in your day and what you're going to do in those pockets, because you have your vital behaviors, you have what you need to do, you have to invite, you have to connect with people, you have to grow your network, you have your personal development, you have to work out and drink your shake. Like, when are you going to do that in the day? And put it in there so that you can look at it and you can identify where, if you get off track, what you still need to do. So track it. That's going to make you so much more productive. And it already has made me more productive. In 3 days, I feel more relaxed because I know that I don't have to remember, when am I going to plan my team call content? Oh, it's in my schedule. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to think about, 8:03 on a Tuesday. I'm like, oh my God, what are we going to talk about? Like, I've done that before. So this helps me be more organized and more productive. The really important thing is include your personal life in there. So like I said, I know from, 4:30 when I pick up Garrett until he goes to bed at, 7:30 or whatever, that's family. We do family things. I'm not picking up my phone. When things are in your calendar, they are appointments. You're not going to be rescheduling them. It's like, everybody hears the analogy of your doctor's appointment. You're not going to, head to the grocery store or sit down to, watch your favorite TV show at 3:45 if you have a doctor's appointment at 4. Like, you're going to make sure that you make that appointment. When things are in your calendar, you have to do them. The other thing, again, like I sort of mentioned, is it frees up your brain space. When we feel like we have to remember things, we obsess on them, and our brain naturally replays things that we know that we have to remember because it worries that we're going to forget them. So it's just on auto repeat. If you write nothing down, everything is going to be repeating in your head. So by having it written out and having a time that you've designated to do it, your brain can relax, and it takes a lot of energy to continually try and remember what's going on, and remember what you have to do, and remember who you have to talk to, and remember when you have to do X, Y, or Z, and who you have to follow up with, and what they, told you. And it's chaos. And my life is chaos, and I don't need any more chaos in my head. So if there's something that I can do to get it all down and not have it up here, and I put it on paper, it totally frees up my space. And I feel like I have more energy. Yes, I've been drinking coffee, you're energized, but I feel like I can also just kind of disconnect and relax a little bit more freely, because I don't have to be thinking while I'm, doing that, because I know everything's on paper. So thing number 1 is plan your day. Thing number 2, and these are all things to do first thing in the morning. Like, I do this when I come upstairs from working out. I pour myself a cup of coffee and I sit down at my desk, and that's what I've done the last couple of days. And it's like this really nice structure, and that has helped me a lot. So the second thing is writing out your goals daily. If you've read Grant Cardone, he talks about this. I've also heard a lot of other, personal development gurus and other coaches, like really successful coaches, they talk about this too, is writing out your goals every single day. And this does a couple of things. The first thing is it gets your creative juices going. Like when you write out goals once, you're like, oh my God, I don't even know what I want. So you write out a couple of things and they're kind of, you don't really feel like you connect with them. But if you write out your goals every single day, you're going to be seeing patterns. You can look back at your goals from the day before, but you're going to write out what is important to you on that day. So like I've been writing out my weekly goals, my monthly goals, my yearly goals, and my 5-year goals for the last couple of mornings. And I'm seeing things repeat, but I'm also becoming a little bit more creative about it. And I am, there's some other things that are kind of coming up that like, it's like when you free write or you journal, if you just let yourself do your thing and write, your brain just like starts going and you get on a roll and you start like getting into a groove. And it's the same thing about writing down your goals every day. It helps you see what is important and focus on that. And then the other really important thing that it does is it tells you where you're going to focus your efforts that day, because your goals are fresh in your mind. You know what you want to have accomplished. And so you're naturally going to focus on those things during the day when you're doing whatever activities that you're doing that are, business related, or even in your personal life. Like this isn't just business goals. This could be personal goals too. Like, if you have fitness goals, or if you have family goals, or if, there's a relationship you want to work on, all of these things can be going into your goals. It doesn't just have to be business. I mean, it could be if you wanted it to. It's whatever you want to make it. So when you write out your goals every day, it's like reminding yourself what you're doing every single day. Things that you focus your time and effort on are things that you bring more of into your life. So you've probably heard people say what you focus on expands, or what you focus on, that which you seek, you will find. I mean, that's like a Bible verse. I don't personally read the Bible, but it's, I've heard it in the Bible context. Like it's that prevalent. Things that we look for, we find. That's why people who are perpetually negative, they continue to be negative. And people who are perpetually positive, they continue to be positive and to grow positively. Because things that we see and we repeat and we hear over and over and over again, that's what comes into our life. And so by writing out your goals, it makes it concrete in your mind, and that's what you start looking for, and you start seeing things. I've heard this other analogy a lot recently, which is say you buy a brand new car, and you buy a blue Toyota Corolla in a specific shade of blue. All of a sudden, you're going to start seeing blue Toyota Corollas all over the road. And it's not because they weren't there, that you didn't see them before, but it's because you didn't have a connection to them, and your brain wasn't looking for them. But when you start to, like, when you have something new in your life, or you're writing something out a lot, or you're, creating this kind of like mental repeating of something in your brain, you start to look for it and you start to see it more. So you're going to start seeing opportunities to reach your goals that maybe you didn't see before. They were always there, but your brain didn't really know where to look for them. So that's what happens when you write out your goals. It tells your subconscious mind what to focus on, and it's like you telling your brain where you're going, not your brain like running off and running amok and, trying to like take you off into some other crazy direction. So it also allows you to see the resources that you need to hit these goals, because if you're writing down your goals every day and you're reminding yourself where you want to be and where you want to grow into and who you want to become and the things that you want to achieve, your brain is going to... There's a child. Okay, we're finishing this call with a child. What are you doing up? Hi.
I was confused as to what child you were talking about. I'm like, is one of my kids back here?
No, mine is.
I found some more socks.
Okay, thank you. Okay, mommy's on a call, so if you want to sit here, you need to be quiet, okay? Thank you. Hands to yourself, unless you want to play with your socks. Okay, so when we write down our goals every single day, it allows us, like our brain starts to focus on those things that we want. So we see the resources that we need to hit the goals. And we feel like we have access to we see them and that brings more of them into our life. The other thing that goal writing does is it makes it hard to not take action towards your goals, because if you're writing something down every single day, it starts to repeat in your head. It starts to become something you think about all the time. And if you're working your business or you're doing something in your life that you want to, take care of, you're naturally going to take action towards these goals. And then the final thing about goals is goal writing reminds us of the urgency that we have, that we want to hit this goal. So say we want to hit Success Club this month, or Success Club 10, or whatever it happens to be, whatever our goal happens to be. It reminds us that we do have that urgency behind why we want to hit this goal. Like, it is a goal of ours, and we just need to, we need to take the action. We need to, invite the people, talk to the people, make new contacts, make sure we're getting our posts out there. Every single thing that we do, we need to, has to be with some urgency. You don't like this?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. Okay, well, you can get down if you don't like it. So, no.
What's the button?
Garrett, you need to go play quietly because mommy's talking, please. The last thing is affirmations. This is something that I am not very good at, but I find it's really fun now that I've done it for a couple of days in a row. Affirmations are a way of rewiring the way that we internally speak to ourselves. We've all been raised with hey, I think Daddy's home. We've all been raised with an internal dialogue based on how we were raised and what we heard growing up and the environment that we grew up in and the people we were surrounded by. And those are ingrained in us, and that makes us who we are. And for a lot of us, there's negative stuff in there as well as positive stuff. And so when we say affirmations, that's us choosing what our internal dialogue is going to be. And it tells our mind and our beliefs what to do basically, and where to go, and where to focus our thoughts and our actions. And so affirmations have the ability to set up our beliefs that cause us to show up with the right energy and the right expectations. So like if you walk into a party and you don't know anybody and you think, oh my gosh, like I don't know anybody, like who's going to want to talk to this like person? I'm going to go sit back here in the corner. Like obviously nobody's going to want to come and talk to you because you're putting out that energy. If you tell yourself I'm a charismatic peer person and people are drawn to me, and you believe it and you've been doing your affirmations and you've told yourself that, you're going to walk into the room and you're going to be comfortable and you're going to be confident and you believe that people want to talk to you. And so yes, people are going to come and talk to you. And so your brain will reverse that negative dialogue if you tell it what to think. Like we are all so much more in control, I think, than we believe that we are. We all have the ability to change the inner dialogue that makes us, that's why people, like if you've watched Josh Coates or if you've watched some of the top coaches, like they are so confident, and that's why. So a couple of good ways to like create affirmations for yourself is first to just list out your fears. Whatever your fears are, like people think I'm spammy, people think I'm, not, he just came downstairs like 30 minutes ago. Okay, can I say bye? Thank you. So a couple of ways to create affirmations. Okay, so list out your fears. Whatever it happens to be. If you're afraid of what people are going to judge you, if you're afraid that you're just going to, put all these posts out there and you're going to get no likes and no comments and it's going to be complete and total crickets, or if you're afraid that the people that you know and love are going to think that you're just, hawking snake oil, or whatever your personal fear is, flip it around and make it something positive. So if your fear is, I am afraid that people will feel that I'm, being spammy and selling things. Yes, that is true. We are selling things, but flip it around and make it something positive. Turn it into, the people that I connect with and reach out to are excited to find this new product to change their life. And you can do that with every single one. I did this exercise maybe sometime last year, and I think I spoke about it several months ago on a team call, just about like writing out what all your fears are and then going back and flipping them around and making them positive. It's exactly what this is. This is the exact same tool. So then after you have all of these positive, flipped around fears, then you turn them into a mantra, which is, I'm capable of X, Y, or Z. I am worthy of X, Y, or Z. If you're afraid of, some people have like fears about, earning money or like being the sole breadwinner in their family or, whatever happens to be. If you have fears of that, turn that into something positive. Like I'm worthy of this. I'm capable of doing this. I believe in myself. Others believe in me. I'm inspiring. I'm positive. People look forward to reading my posts every day. If one of your fears is nobody's going to comment on your posts, change it around and say, people are so excited to see my posts and they come to my page and they look for my posts every single day because it's so inspiring and so positive. Like switch it around and repeat those things to yourself. I have been, when I sit down in the morning, I write out my goals and then I write out my affirmations underneath. I have heard people, they use their voice memo on their phone and they record their affirmations. And then like when they're driving to work, they replay those on auto, like replay to themselves. And so they hear themselves speaking, like they hear their own voice speaking these affirmations to themselves again and again and again. And it's another way, like if you're, a very auditory person and you need to hear something, create your own repeated mantra of affirmations, and you can just have that on repeat to yourself and you can hear yourself saying that. And for some people that works really well. I haven't tried that yet, but I think it's a really cool idea. So that's affirmation. So again, so the three things that I've been doing is, number one, plan my day. And I kind of get a jump on that one a little bit. I start the night before and I get kind of like the key things of what I need to do. And then I can just fill in anything that's come up that I've thought about that morning or that I've, remembered I needed to do. So plan out your day. Again, it frees up your brain space. It is magical. Write out your daily goals, or write your goals daily, I guess is a better way to say it, because I've been writing out all my goals. Maybe I need to include daily goals. Right now I'm just doing weekly goals. In fact, daily goals would probably be a little bit better way of connecting with that urgency of what do I actually need to do today, not what I need to accomplish 7 days from now. It's like, what do I need to accomplish today before I go to bed? So I'm going to include that in my goals tomorrow. And then the third one is affirmations, because we all have some sort of negative internal dialogue that is not helping where we want to go. And we have the ability to rewire our brains to be positive and to be inspired. And so, we have that ability to do that for ourselves. Nobody else can do that for us. And that's what's so powerful about this. These are all things that nobody else can do. We're in charge of our day. We know what we want our goals to be, and we are the only ones who know what our fears are and what we want to change. So this is so, so powerful. Why is my house like chaos? Do you guys hear my dogs barking? Like, it's usually silent. So that is the three things. Again, this training is mind-bogglingly awesome, and I'm so excited. So questions. I think I have everybody muted. So unmute yourself if you have questions. Comments, concerns, suggestions?
So how long is the training? And also just comment, I think it's super interesting. This is the second time that I can think of that you've mentioned you had some sort of personal development that you totally didn't speak to, you hated it or whatever, and then further along in your business, different mindset. The other one was a book. It might have been the Grant Cardone book.
It was, and it was actually from this training because he'd recommend.
Yeah.
The first time I read "Be Obsessed or Be Average," it was in this training. The whole
that's right, and you said it rubbed you the wrong. You said it
Mm-hmm.
rubbed you the wrong way, which is like very interesting. How like when you're at a different mindset in your business, or you're further along, or maybe just more personally developed, like how stuff can speak to you differently.
Definitely.
And I'm still plugging along on Be Obsessed or Be Average. It's such a good book, but I get like so many, I swear I have like ADD of personal development because I'm like, oh my God, I want to listen to that. And I want to listen to that. And then I've got like Power of I Am with Chris Downing. And I've got like a bunch of little things. So poor Be Obsessed or Be Average has been like on pause for a couple weeks. But.
Well, after I finish, I'm listening to Girl Wash Your Face, which, whoa, it's awesome.
That's on my list.
Oh, it's awesome.
I already bought it. And downloaded it. I just haven't started it yet.
It's awesome. So as soon as I'm done with that, I'll probably go back and I'll either listen to 10X Rule or Be Obsessed or Be Average. I think for this one, he's recommending 10X Rule. So I might do that because he's brilliant and he coaches brilliantly, and people who really work with him and put in the effort do phenomenally well. So maybe I'll just do exactly what he tells me to do.
And how long is this training?
4 weeks.
Seminar, yeah.
Yeah, so it's 4 weeks. And then we get...
Does he work with Grant Cardone, or he just looks up to him?
He just looks up to him, yeah. So it's 4 weeks, and then we get... So he's got an app in development, and as soon as the app is launched, we get access to the app, and it's an ongoing app, like a tracker app, a daily tracker app, and then all of the training videos are in there. So it's kind of like a standalone thing.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's awesome. And there's a health bet, so we actually get to earn back some of the money that we put in if we complete the daily activities 85% of the month.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Amber, you were looking like you wanted to say something.
Oh, I was just going to point out the correlation between you at one point in time in your business, something not speaking to you, and then at a different point it does speak to you. That's another good reason why we should not write off people that are not interested in the business at any given point in time, whether it's working the business or just getting healthier, because it might not be speaking to them today, but you never know a year from now if it's the you never know if they didn't have the ears for what you had to say then, they might have a new set of ears now, or they might be seeing life through a new different colored set of glasses.
Exactly. That's a really great point.
That's true, because I had someone who told me in the beginning, like, that's great, you do Beachbody, you do your thing, it's not for me, I'll do this, and was trying, to say, the precautions and all stuff like that, and I, just kept pushing, because obviously, I believe in it. So then, the other day, they said they might eventually be interested, in the workouts and stuff like that. And they're like, but I don't want shakes or, the meal plans. I was like, that's fine, because eventually then, they could start using the recipes and putting, all the pieces together. Because, as much as you want to just, throw up Beachbody on people because you love it so much, it just doesn't work that way. People have to do it on their time, and you just have to be patient and work with them. And honestly, that's something I learned too, because I even lost my Emerald status, but I know it's not me, but the person said I know I canceled now, but once I come back from the trip and all stuff like that they're gonna come back. And they said oh, I don't want to lose touch, this and that. So you just have to work with people, because everyone comes around eventually when they're ready. That's I learned.
Exactly. That reminded me actually of something else that was super powerful that I heard in this training, which is it's a mindset thing. So this is a really big part of this group and this training is thinking of, so like we all get, like we've all done it. I know we've all done it a million times, is we get worried that we're not going to hit a goal. And so we go out there feeling like we need people to sign up, and we need to be thinking about it in the opposite way. We don't need anybody. Everybody out there needs us. And this isn't meant to be like cocky or arrogant, but they need us. We don't need them. We don't need people to sign up. We need to help people, and they need us, and they need our help, because we know that there's this like health crisis going on. People truly physically need what we have to offer, and they need the support, and they need the community, and they need to be physically active, and they need to fuel their body. And what better way than with the products that we have, and the support that we have, and the community that we have, and the company, and this incredible company. We don't need anybody to sign up with us, because that's not our goal. Our goal is to help people in any way that we can, but they need what we have. So we need to go out with that in mind of bringing what we have to offer to the world and adding value. And when we do that, and we come at it from a viewpoint of how can I help people and serve people, not from basically when we feel like we need people, that's coming from a place of lack and coming from a place of fear. And when we think and focus on that, that's what we bring more of into our life. But when we go out into the world and we say, how can I help you? How can I be of service to you? What do you need that I can offer you? Then that's when people will sense that shift. And that's like the energy that we put out, and we're going to attract that energy back, and people are going to be like, take my money. I feel like I've had that happen. Like last month, I was at I had success. I was basically at Success Club 14 between my account and Nick's account. And I got to a point where it was just like person after person after person was like messaging me and being like, okay, I'm ready. Okay, I'm ready. Okay, I'm ready. And I was hardly reaching out to anybody at that point. So, I mean, it's the energy that you put out that's what you get back. So remember, we don't need them. They need us. Okay, any last questions or comments? I think we have like 4 minutes left. Alrighty, well, thank you guys so much as usual for getting on. I really appreciate it. I really do, because there was a stretch for a period of time when I would basically come on Monday nights and I would record myself speaking to myself. So these are much more fun, and I love it, and I love your energy, and it just makes me have better energy on these calls. So thank you. And have a great night and a great week. Do these things tomorrow morning. Like get up 15 minutes earlier and do them, because they're so powerful. Okay, cool. All right. Love you guys. Bye.